All right. Okay, it's 8:11 on September 29th, Sunday evening, and we are interviewing Malia Cockrell for a potential position on the IDHA Board of Directors. Hi, Malia. It's Malia. I'm sorry. It's Malia.
Okay.
I want to say Malia, but this is Wendy Rager.
Hi.
And hi. We have Rebecca McKeever, Kimberly Butler, and Natalie Hyatt, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes.
Okay, and JC, is she with us yet, Rebecca?
No, not yet, but she might
Okay.
join us.
She may join us. So we just have a couple questions we want to ask and to get to know a little bit better what your position is. So Rebecca, we'll start with you. You want to ask the first question?
So Malia, are you willing to serve in whatever position you're needed if elected to the board?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great.
Is there any position you want to serve in more than any others?
Not really in particular. I think I could do membership or secretary, registration, show committee. If I needed to be, could do international. I'm not sure what else is there that I'm missing.
You're hitting the good organizational ones. I like that skill set.
Yes. Yeah, I'm an engineer in my other time away from the horses, so organization is a big strong point for me.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. And Kimberly, go ahead.
Hey, Malia.
Hey.
You're not nervous at all, are you?
No, of course not.
All right. Don't be. I know, right?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So tell us what kind of skills you have that could benefit us here at IDHA. Where would it be best put to use? You said you're an engineer, so elaborate.
Yeah. I think probably organization is a big thing. Just in my daily work. There's a lot of attention to detail. I think the whole idea of the stud book is really cool. So getting horses registered, getting, organizing information in the computer setting that way is, I don't know, kind of a geeky, I like it kind of thing. Membership, again, organizing, getting people registered that way. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say.
Okay.
Well, that sounds
great. Thank you.
All right.
You'll think of more stuff as we move on.
Okay, that's good.
Natalie, do you want to ask the next question, please?
Sure. Hey, Malia.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to ask you just to give us an idea of how you're invested in the drum breed. What is your, where are you at the drum breed, and what is your investment, and what do you feel like your future investment needs to be? And not just necessarily monetarily, but in general.
Yeah, so right now I have, I've got 3 drums and 2 Clydesdale mares. So I'm kind of running just a real small breeding program, maybe a couple foals a year. But I also really like to take my girls out and show them. As not a whole lot of options around Oklahoma for drum specific, classes with drum specific, shows with drum specific classes. But I try to attend the fairs around here and do draft classes or open shows and tell, anybody that will stop and listen for 5 seconds about what a drum horse is. So I love the breed. I think everybody's shown a drum horse. And I'm just really, I would really like to be a part of making drums like a recognized breed, not just it being a big gypsy or a colorful Clydesdale, but like I want to be there for when people actually recognize drums as a breed. So that's, I want to be there for part of that. So
Cool. Thank you.
That's great. All right. I'm going to ask the next question. Are you willing to serve in a position that does not best utilize your skill set if that might be needed?
yes, I will. I mean, I can do whatever is necessary. I'm not sure what that would be. You know, maybe the international position. Obviously, I'm not international, but I would, you know, do whatever it takes to make that work and help to better this association with my time.
Okay, thanks. That sounds great. Thank you. All right. Rebecca?
So do you consider yourself a self-starter or do you require direction?
I mean, I think I'm a it depends on the situation. I can be a self-starter where it's needed, but there's a lot of instances, decisions where it needs to be a group effort, you know, not just a one person making all the decisions. But, you know, if I have a task, I've got no problem, you know, finding the initiative and getting done doing what needs to be done to make sure it's accomplished.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Okay, let's see. What are some ideas that you may have to promote the drum horse? I'm sorry, I lost my place here. Yeah, what are some ways to promote the drum horse? Do you have any ideas that you can bring to the table to accomplish this task?
I mean, just me personally, I like to take my drum, Penelope. We go to a lot of open shows, just trail rides and whatnot, just getting the breed name out there just here locally. I really like I know there was a big group of people that went to the equine affair in Ohio last year. There's another something kind of along those lines here in Kansas the beginning of next year, and I would like to see if maybe I can get a group of drums together to go to that. I think just kind of those expos like that, or just you know, places where there are a lot of people that maybe don't know what a drum is, like taking my horses to the fairs. There's so much traffic there, and so many people, you know, get to come to the fair and learn what a drum horse is. That's pretty cool. So that's just me personally, I guess.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll go ahead with Natalie.
All righty. I'm reading through the questions. I apologize because some of the things, some of them kind of go together, and you guys have been really, really good about answering some of them even without having to ask them. So I'll ask you more of a personal question, which for some reason seems to follow me every time. Are you prepared for criticism, and are you able to learn from it in a positive manner? How well do you work under constructive criticism, and where do you take it once you get it?
I think it's easy to say that everybody has an opinion, and especially as horse people, I feel like can be a very opinionated group. And you know, with that, you take the good with the bad. You know, I will do the best I can to you know, take constructive criticism and try to be as positive as possible. I feel like I'm a pretty positive person, and it takes quite a lot to get me down, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that.
Cool, thanks. Hi, JC.
Hi, sorry, I actually thought it was at 6:30, not 6. So my bad.
Oh, hey, good to hear you join. I thought I heard a little noise come in there. I wasn't sure, so fabulous. All right, JC, if you want to ask a question for Malia, this is Wendy, by the way. How are you doing?
I don't know which questions have been asked.
Okay, so we're pretty much, okay, I think we've actually, on our list, we're about halfway, so if you want to, maybe a couple toward the end of the list.
I can't find the questions then. Sorry, I'm trying to find the questions list here on my phone.
That's no.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll jump right in and ask you.
The last six questions, JC, I don't believe were asked yet. So if you want to choose from any of those questions, that would be that'd be good.
Cool. Well, let's jump right in. And what's your full-time job and your occupation? I guess.
My full-time job, when I'm not spending all my countless hours here on the farm, I am a mechanical design engineer. We build air-cooled heat exchangers for the oil and gas industry here in Tulsa.
Okay, sweet. All right, thank you. And I'll go ahead with the next. The horses in any shows?
Wendy, you're breaking up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Would you have any idea?
Well,
horses in any shows. Did I go again?
I heard something about shows.
Okay. All right. Would you have any ideas on how to get the membership rules up and the horses in shows?
I think for right now, at least in my area, there are a lot of drums, not necessarily a lot of people showing their drums. But I think it's just a matter of, getting the horses out there that we can with people who are willing to. Last year, I took my drum to the Oklahoma State Fair, and I think we were one of 2 drums there, maybe. And then this year, we actually had either 4 or 5 drums that attended. So I feel like attendance is getting better. I feel like as our numbers grow, as there are more drums, our attendance at shows will be better. But I think it's just a matter of, getting that information in front of people that are members, people that maybe aren't necessarily members, just getting that information out there. The Facebook groups that we have are really great. The IDHA website is a great tool. So I think we just keep persisting with the opportunities that we have and expand on those.
Okay, thank you. And Rebecca, go ahead.
So I'm going to ask something not on our list, but Malia, you've been helping out with some of the show committee stuff. Yes. So you want to elaborate on that?
So I've been helping Janelle, kind of serving as the regional coordinator for the Heartland region. Just trying to, right now, basically, we've just been trying to find shows in our area that will do open draft classes. Very few places are willing to give us drum specific classes with the small numbers that we have committing to coming to shows. But I feel like we're getting better numbers in, people being interested in attending those shows. This year, I couldn't take my drum, so I took my Clydesdale. So I think just getting out there and, getting people involved is I think we're on the right track.
So how many shows have you been able to get them to open up for draft classes for drums? Or
Well, right now we've got honestly, it's mostly just, I think, the fairs around here. Like the Tulsa State Fair has draft classes. The Oklahoma State Fair in Oklahoma City has been a really big one. We have like a light draft division, so not drum specific yet, but I think we're getting closer and closer to that. And we've had a pretty good turnout. This year was a really good turnout. I was pretty excited about that. But and hopefully going forward in the future, it'd be better and better. The Missouri State Fair has draft classes, Kansas State Fair, and I'm always looking to find more that we can go to. So.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kimberly?
You can always come to Georgia, Malia. We have draft and drum classes.
You what?
We have drum and draft classes. You come back to Georgia.
I'm okay with that.
Yes.
All
You
right.
guys were fun.
Let's see. As a potential candidate for the IDHA board, do you feel that as a board member, you should be required to attend a minimum of 2 IDHAs? Did somebody already ask that?
No.
Okay. Do you feel that you should be required to attend a minimum of 2 IDHA sponsored shows per year out of pocket to help promote the breed? And the second part of that question is, if not, what are your plans to show the diversity of the drum?
I think maybe for some people, getting to 2, I mean, as far as I know, the JJ shows, and then was it Mount Hood up in the northwest corner of the U.S. Are there other IDHA sponsored shows other than JJ's and Mount Hood?
Not that I have seen, but
Okay.
Anyone else know?
There's 2 in Alberta. There's one in Alberta and one in BC. Actually, there's one being held this weekend by the IDHA in Armstrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're around. They're just, they are scattered, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I
as
think
we increase that, as we increase that number,
yes.
both as board members and as members, and we're able to get more of those shows on board, and the ability to sponsor them becomes greater. Do you feel like, I'm just trying to simplify the question a little bit, do you feel like board members specifically to promote the breed should be required to attend at least 2 shows? And if not, what are your thoughts about what you should be required to do, if anything?
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah.
For clarifying.
It's a weird question.
No, I'm with you. I think it may be easier for some people than others to attend 2 shows. Like if I was living in Georgia, I think there are several more, the JJ shows, the southeast portion of the country and the northwest portion of the country, I feel like have a lot more show opportunities. And it would be easier living there to attend 2 shows, no problem. But other places may be difficult to get to. So I don't know that you should necessarily be required to attend 2 shows, but I don't think it's unreasonable to be required to attend, at least 2, maybe 3, whatever, whether it's an IDHA sponsored show or some other event to promote the drum breed, like the equine affair or another horse expo like that. I think that's a good idea.
Good. Thank you. All right. I think JC is up next.
What is your plan to get the membership roll up for the horses and the horses and shows? Not just, they're going to open up a class, but actually push if they need to get drums out into the public eye. Because there's many farms that breed, but they're not showing any ideas of how to get them, instead of just breeding, to get out there as well.
It's a good question. I don't think you can, obviously you can't really force people to go show or whatever. That kind of takes the fun out of it. But I think in making it more more visible, getting it the opportunities in front of people so they can, know about their opportunities, and seeing, pictures or whatever of how much fun it is. I think just promoting it in that regard, it's going to take time, but I think we're on the right track. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's a hard one. It's because it's, I feel like because there are so few drums, the amount of people in the quarter horse world, the amount of people that show versus the amount of people that own quarter horses is a tiny percentage, I think. So because our drums are so small in numbers, you're going to have a smaller number of people wanting to show. So I feel like until we have more drums, it's just going to take a while to get, that level of interest to attend shows. But, I definitely think we should still be, promoting it, whether it's through Facebook or emails or however, if I need to go door to door to people and come say, hey, bring your drums to a show, that's fine. But yeah, I think just, getting it in front of people and letting them know how much fun it is and how great it is to get our horses out in front of the public so that other people can learn what a drum horse is.
And upping the membership, any ideas?
Upping the membership, just as far as people that own drums that aren't registered as members.
Just the regular public. We need to get the more members, the better, right? Because that increases how many people register their drums as well.
Right. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think getting our drums to shows and having IDHA information packets or whatever available so that people, may be interested in joining and keeping up with us. I really like the Drumbeat newsletter. I think that's I like reading it every time it comes out. So it's, might be nice to have for other people to read and maybe be interested in joining the association also.
So basically get the drum newsletter out a little bit further into the public eye.
I think that's a good start.
Okay. All right. All right, go ahead, Natalie, with the next question.
Do we have another one?
I know. I think the second to the last question was not answered. I don't believe it's asked yet, so. I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask you for
Yeah, she
your
kind of answered that because she said she does, the events and the expos and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say, I'm just going to ask your opinion, and I'll just ask it in general. Where would you like to see the Drum Horse Association within the next 5 years, whether that be membership or otherwise?
That's a good question. I'm not sure as far as numbers goes, what's realistic. I would like to see, just more the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, what's your vision for the Drum Horse? What's your vision in the next 5 years? If you had it to run yourself, what would you make it?
If you were king for a day.
Exactly.
No pressure, right?
No.
I think just getting us closer to breed recognition, breed status, really. I don't, I'd like to be able to, take my horse somewhere and not have somebody say, oh, ask her if she's a gypsy, but, say, oh, that's a drum horse, just to be able to recognize, to get our horses out there enough and, in the public eye so people can see that they're not a big gypsy, they're not a colored Clydesdale, that, that a drum horse is its own breed. That may be pretty lofty goals to happen in the next 5 years. But I think that's definitely something that we should be shooting for. Obviously, I imagine we are, but yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I think we covered any questions that I had. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question for you. So I'm sure that at the beginning, before I figured out that I was late, was asked, would you fill any position? But do you feel that you would be more suited to one position or another on the board that would be better geared towards the skills that you have?
Yeah, yes, it was asked. I think that being an engineer in my daytime life, I'm have to be fairly organized and detail oriented. So things like registration or even as secretary maybe. Feel like I'm pretty computer savvy. My dad is Mr. Computer Guru, does all kinds of computer website stuff. So I have learned, some do website, stuff if necessary. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's actually really cool to have someone tech savvy because a lot of people aren't, right? So it's always useful skill to have.
Okay, does anybody else have any further questions?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Me too. I'm good.
Okay, Malia, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I think you guys have done a pretty thorough job of covering everything. So
Do you feel grilled?
a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know what to expect, but you guys definitely covered it all. Thank you.
Quick question for you, Malia.
Okay.
So you expressed interest in potentially being our international representative. If you are chosen for this position, are you prepared to pay for travel expenses out of pocket, or do you expect the IDHA to pay for you? I'm totally kidding. You can laugh.
I mean,
I hope so.
I'm so serious. Can I bring a horse back with me? That's fine.
Only if you bring one of us along with you.
I'm totally cool with that. Yeah, definitely.
Just kidding, people. Just kidding.
Very good. No, I think that's cool that you're interested in branching out to the international part, because not many people have said anything about it. We were talking about that earlier, but that we often forget that this is an international association, not just
Right.
U.S. So
Yeah.
no, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'd love to have you come up to visit. We'd love to have you
perfect.
guys come up to visit Canada.
Perfect. It might be a little cold for me right now. I'm kind of a weenie, but
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cold. It's like 45 degrees here right now.
Oh God, I would die to be in 45-degree weather. It's 95 here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, no. No thanks.
Okay. I think we've covered everything. Rebecca?
No, I
wanna-
think we are good. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Malia. Really appreciate it. Thank you, committee.
Thank
And we'll be posting.
Thank you.
you. Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks, Malia.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.